And here we are at Innovation Week 2023 at TechNL. Mandy, always good to be in conversation with you. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you're up to?
So my name is Mandy Woodland. I am the digital strategy lead at Virtual Marine and also the co-founder and CEO of Amp Health. And I'm really excited to be here this week to take part in everything that's happening, all the exciting speakers that we have here, and mostly to get to talk to all the folks that you don't get to see in person enough.
A lot of great things happening in the technology sector in Newfoundland at the moment. We've spoken to Minister Parsons, we've spoken to a lot of the folks that have been presenting. It's a real exciting time. What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I'm most excited about, I think I've said these words 10 times this morning, is people in place. So I think the combination of what we have in this place right now with the people that we have is creating this really exciting environment and ecosystem to bring so much to the province. So from the new technologies that we're exporting to the development of skills we're seeing with the key-in programs, really excited about people in place right now.
Isn't that great? I mean, you've got all of this exciting things happening, but you're looking at it from a point of view of, okay, how do we skill up the people? How do we dive deeper down in the education system, get people excited about what's available here? It seems like you're building an incredible pathway.
Yeah, I think this sector, seeing it over the past 10, 15 years, has evolved exponentially. You've seen this transition, even what TechNL has done over the past couple of years in terms of programming. Virtual Marine was lucky to participate this past summer in a student program where we had students in Port aux Basques working with Virtual Marine through TechNL, and seeing that next generation of excitement and talent of young people who want to stay in the province and work in technology, who can now work all over the world from here, is really exciting to me as someone who's getting older.
You know, Virtual Marine is on cutting edge of this stuff, great tech, but not only do they have great tech, great company, right? You see the Virtual Marine conversation everywhere within the technology sector, and in places that like inclusion and diversity and equity, Virtual Marine is front and center in the conversation. Not only do they have tech, but they got a great culture to back it all up.
The tech's no good without the people, right? So when I talk about people in place, that's so critical to the success of any organization. Part of the panel that we were just listening to talked a lot about what happens when there are layoffs and the importance for founders and CEOs of making sure their people are looked after and using, because we're a small, tight network here locally, using their connections to find their people new roles when they have to cut back or things like that, where putting the people front and center is what makes everything else work. And I think it's really exciting to see the culture conversation spread more broadly about the importance of not just diversity, equity, and inclusion, but culture overall and how important the people are to the success of the technology.
Mandy, you talk about a tight network. Everybody can kind of pull on one another. Tell me the importance of that tight network right now for the people and the place we're in.
Yeah, it's so critical, and I think it's really key to our success here. We're small, right? So we have to leverage everything we can to get out there and sell into the world. And I think the examples of a lot of companies right now who are using and leveraging that to export around the world is setting the tone for a lot of other new startups and for companies that are kind of changing their business model and changing and evolving their product, like adapting new AI, like we heard from the speaker this morning, to advance. I think we're all just learning from each other to do that. And the ability here to just be able to run into folks like you two and to talk to, Jacqueline at PolyUnity, or to run into the folks from ACOA or the province and have these conversations where we can be walking down the street and say, hey, did you hear that thing about this company doing this in AI? It consistently inspires and lifts us all up.
I tell you, it's a good place to be right now. You must be excited.
Except for the snow this morning. I'm out.
Yeah, the snow this morning was a bit of an eye-opener for sure. Great things happening here. Thanks for being in conversation with us. Always nice to talk to you.
Always good to talk to you too.